30,000 infantry, 18,000 cavalry, 40 warships moving up the Brahmaputra, the largest military force ever sent into this corner of the world. Standing between that army and total conquest was a single general, and he was so sick his men had to carry him to the river. What you're about to hear never made it into most textbooks outside Assam. A story about a kingdom that was already broken, and the one man who refused to let it stay that way. His name was Lachit Borphukan. The reason he was on that river in the first place begins 8 years earlier, with a defeat so humiliating it killed a king. In the summer of 1662, a Mughal army under Mir Jumla crossed into the Ahom Kingdom from the west. The Ahoms had held this territory for 4 centuries through every invasion anyone had sent at them, and they had never been fully conquered. Mir Jumla changed that. Within months, his forces had seized Guwahati, the kingdom's western gateway, and kept marching east to Gargaon, the Ahom capital itself. The king negotiated. There was nothing else left to do. The treaty signed in February 1663 stripped the kingdom bare. Guwahati surrendered, western territories handed over, a massive tribute paid in gold, silver, and elephants. Some accounts say the king never recovered from the shame of it. He died shortly after, and whether grief was the cause or not, the timing left little doubt about what had broken him. His successor, Chakradhwaj Singha, inherited the throne and the wound together and made one vow to the court: "Take the spear of disgrace from the nation's bosom." Those were his exact words. Then he got to work making them mean something. For the next 4 years, Chakradhwaj rebuilt. New army, repaired fortifications, alliances with neighboring kingdoms, and a search for a commander who understood that the Brahmaputra was not a liability, it was a weapon. The man he chose was Lachit Borphukan, appointed viceroy and commander-in-chief of Western Assam in 1667. Within months, Lachit had retaken Guwahati, swept the Mughal garrison all the way to the Manas River, and planted the Ahom flag back over the city they had lost. After 4 years of humiliation, the momentum had finally turned. What came next was Lachit's first act of command, and it told you everything about who he was. The kingdom needed a ring of earthworks and embankments around Guwahati, defenses designed to channel the Mughal army toward the river and away from open ground. Construction was urgent. One section of the embankment was assigned to a supervisor, reportedly a family member of Lachit's own. When Lachit inspected the work in the middle of the night and found the progress inadequate, he ordered the man's execution on the spot. The fortress built at that location was named Momai Kota Garh, the fort of the killed uncle. Whether the man was truly family or the name is symbolic, the message to the entire army was the same. Lachit Borphukan would not lose this country a second time because someone slowed down. In Delhi, Emperor Aurangzeb heard about the recapture of Guwahati and responded the only way an empire responds to embarrassment. Under Raja Ram Singh of Amber, one of the most experienced commanders in Mughal service, he sent 30,000 infantry, 18,000 cavalry, 21 Rajput chiefs with their own contingents, and 40 warships. The force moved up the Brahmaputra in 1670. When Lachit surveyed it from the Ahom shore, the chronicles record that he wept. "It is a tragedy that my country faces this catastrophe during my command," he said. "How will my king be saved? How will my people be saved?" Then he got back to work. What Ram Singh expected was a pitched battle, his larger, better equipped army against whatever the Ahoms could field in the open. Instead, he got silence, followed by chaos. Guwahati was a trap. Fortified hills, hidden ditches packed with bamboo pikes to destroy cavalry before it could form up. The only viable approach for a large force was by river, which was exactly where the Ahoms wanted them. The Mughal land forces marched into the city, almost unopposed. They mistook the empty streets for cowardice. That mistake landed on them immediately. The Ahoms attacked at night, every night, vanishing before daylight, hitting supply lines, cutting off scouts, withdrawing before any organized response was possible. According to the chronicles, one night the Ahom soldiers slipped so completely into the Mughal camp that they walked out carrying Mughal silverware. Whether that detail is exact history or chronicle pride, the effect on morale was the same. Ram Singh's men could not sleep. Then the rumors spread that the Ahoms fought at night because they commanded demons, Rakshasas, supernatural beings that lived in the forests and answered to Lachit. Ram Singh could not afford to ignore it. A general whose soldiers won't sleep is already losing. Frustrated, Ram Singh sent a formal demand. Stop the night attacks, face us in an honorable engagement. According to the chronicles, Lachit sent back a single line. It must be remembered that lions fight at night. Drop in the comments. Do you think Ram Singh actually respected that answer, or was he just stalling while he figured out a new plan? Ram Singh tried diplomacy at least 3 times over the following months, sending envoys, testing whether the Ahom court could be separated from Lachit's command. None of it worked. What did work, temporarily, was a direct engagement at Alaboi in 1669, open ground where Mughal numbers finally had room to operate. The Ahoms lost badly. Roughly 10,000 soldiers died at Alaboi, and that defeat shook the kingdom's confidence in a way the guerrilla phase had not. For the first time since Guwahati, the Mughals had drawn real blood in a real battle, and Lachit, already ill, was running out of time to replace what he'd lost. By late 1670, Aurangzeb's patience had run out. Ram Singh had been in Assam for over a year with nothing to show but attrition. The order came. Finish it. Ram Singh assembled his full naval force under Admiral Momai Kota Garh and launched a frontal assault up the Brahmaputra toward the fortification lines at Saraighat. Inside the Itahuli fort, the Ahom commanders did the arithmetic no one wanted to say out loud. Their numbers were down from Alaboi. The defenses were strong but not unbreakable, and their general was in his sickbed, running a fever, barely able to sit upright. Some had already decided, pull back, survive, the battle was lost before it started. It was at this point that Lachit Borphukan, unable to walk, ordered his men to carry him to a warboat. He told them, "If you want to flee, flee. The king has given me a task here and I will do it. Let the Mughals take me away. You tell the king that his general fought well." Then he pushed his boat toward the Mughal fleet. The Ahom soldiers who had been edging toward retreat watched their general move toward the enemy, clearly ill, and turned back. Within minutes, the Brahmaputra filled with Ahom boats, small, fast craft that knew these currents in ways the Mughal warships never could. Mughal cannons were built for range, not for a melee at close quarters in tight water, and the Ahom boats were inside that range before the fleet could reposition. The Ahoms formed a triangle across the river between Itahuli, Aswakranta, and Kamakhya, filling the channel with boats and bodies, forcing the Mughal fleet into a confined engagement it had never trained for. Momai Kota Garh was shot and killed during the fighting. With their admiral dead and the fleet unable to maneuver, the naval assault collapsed. Ram Singh's land forces, waiting for the navy to breach the defenses, found themselves with nothing to follow. On April 5, 1671, the Mughal army retreated to the Manas River. Aurangzeb never sent another army into Assam. Lachit Borphukan lived less than a year after the battle. The illness that had nearly stopped him from fighting did not let him go. He died in April 1672, around 50 years old, and was buried in the kind of memorial the Ahoms reserved for royalty. The king who had sent him, Chakradhwaj Singha, had died before the final battle even happened. He never saw the vow he'd made come true. Ram Singh returned to Delhi in disgrace. 11 years later, the Mughals tried again at Itahuli, and the Ahoms beat them again, so decisively that the northeast was never seriously threatened again. Assam held until the British arrived in 1826. Every year, on the 24th of November, Assam observes Lachit Divas, a public holiday in his name. The Indian military gives an annual gold medal at the National Defence Academy to the best graduating cadet. That medal carries his name too. The question that stays with you is not whether Lachit was brave. That part is obvious. The question is what it means that he already knew. The illness on that warboat was the same illness that killed him 11 months later. He understood the math better than anyone in that fort, and he got in the boat anyway. The deeper we dig into the past, the more we understand the present. I'm Zombo, and there's always more to discover.